Hello teachers, welcome back. And this is lesson 6 of 6. So this is our review lesson for unit 1, book 1 and part 3 of 3. So as always, let's take a look at the content that we have to cover. Yes. And we have now just finished our writing exercise. Okay, so in the previous clip, you saw the writing exercise and the fun game that we had with that. And we're now moving into a conversation. Now, this was the vocabulary on the board, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to now take away those words that are far too easy or simple for our students, and we're going to be using these words, okay, this vocabulary to move on to our next game, okay, our next activity. And I might have added 1 or 2 other words in there, but of course the idea is for us to be recycling all of this content to keep it fresh in their heads, because pretty soon they'll be writing a test. So this is why I have done it this way. Now, the flashcards are at the bottom of the whiteboard because I'm going to ask my students to interact with the whiteboard soon enough. So I'm going to draw a line on the board and I'm going to ask my students, boys and girls, can you guess what that is? Just to kind of get their curiosity going. And they might say, teacher, it's a line, ha ha ha, or maybe something else. But basically it's the floor. And I'll say, all right, boys and girls, what is this? If that line is the floor, what is this? Oh, teacher, a table, a bag, good job, a bin, oh, so cool. Yes, boys and girls, it's a bag, it's a table, it's a bin. Now, the idea, of course, is for the students to then use these objects and this furniture to create sentences. And they're quite familiar with the setup. We had it in the previous lesson. So they shouldn't be too shocked by what's going to happen. Now the teacher's going to grab a couple of flashcards and stick them in various positions. And now this is the idea. You're going to model like you always do. So I'm going to say, all right, Bob, stand up, please, Bob. And I will say, Bob, where is the book? And hopefully Bob will then respond, the book is in the bag. Good job, Bob, sit down. Sally, where are the scissors? And Sally will say, the scissors are under the table, hopefully. Then I will say, Jim, stand up, please. Is the chair next to the bin? And then Jim will say, yes, teacher, the chair is next to the bin. Good job, Jim, sit down. Last one, Harry. Is the sharpener in the bag? No, teacher, it isn't. The sharpener isn't in the bag. Where is the sharpener? It is in the bin. Okay, so we're stimulating our students to respond to those questions. And obviously what I've been doing is I'm recycling and covering all of the grammar points in that particular Q&A exchange. So once I've modeled that sufficiently, and once I've made sure that my students can respond effectively and perfectly, I will now ask my students to stand up. And so we then have A and B. Teacher is also going to write down on the board, where is the sharpener, where is the book, where are the scissors? Yeah, and then are the scissors under the table and is the book in the bin? Now, the reason why I've written it on the board is so that the students really get that reinforced. Weaker students can read that off the board, and the stronger students don't need to read. They can just simply look at the pictures and they can say, okay, is the book, are the scissors, is the pencil, is the sharpener, whatever. And then they can also say, where are, okay. So as you can see in my setup over there, I have the W question and I have the yes, no question. And the idea in this situation is student A will ask, where is the sharpener? Student B will say, the sharpener is in the bin. Student B will ask the question, where is the book bag? Student A will say the book bag is on the table. So it's A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. Okay, this is how it works. And this way, all students will then cover all question forms, and then they will cover answer forms as well. Okay, now what you can do as a teacher is you can obviously then shuffle up those cards for the new students to come along, or you could keep it as is just to make sure that you're not introducing too many variables. Now we're going to have the writing part. Now, what is a teacher going to do? The teacher's going to shuffle the cards just like they were doing in the question, in the conversation. And the teacher is now going to change the questions. Why? Because we want to check to see if the students really understood. So for this particular writing part, it's extremely important for them to be able to substitute all of those words into the sentence and make sure that they've got the answer. Now, that is the way that you can check that they've really understood everything that they've needed to cover in this particular unit. Once the students have finished writing, you will go around and check. You'll give them a score in their books. And then if you're still not confident about that, you can then ask the students orally, all right, Bob, where is the book bag? Where is the book? And then Bob will say, the book is in the school bag. No, it isn't. The book is under the table. Sorry, that's a mistake. But okay, you get the idea. The students will then answer the questions with the model that is on the whiteboard as a reinforcement. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that, teachers. That's a mistake, but I'm sure you definitely get the idea. All right, teachers. Now you need to tally your scores and say goodbye. And all I want to say is this particular unit is very intense. It is intense because there is a lot that the students have to cover. However, I hope that by watching these last 3 clips, part 1, part 2, part 3, you can see that you can break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces and make sure that you cover every aspect of this unit. It is actually quite manageable at the end of the day. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you learned something, and please subscribe to learn even more. Thanks once again, and catch you in the next video. Thank you, teachers. Bye-bye.